G'day guys. Yeah, Dave and me are here. We're testing out some big coils, and yeah, well, what's that one there we're looking at the moment?
So I think it's 40.
40 inch.
Yeah, 40.
Okay, that's a 40-inch coil. We'll just see how we go on that. I even know what your target is.
AA battery.
AA battery. Oh, okay.
And the can of tomatoes returns.
And the can of tomatoes, okay. Well, that's pretty good on a can of tomatoes. I actually had a screenshot here. There we go. You probably get over your head. Yeah, you got to go right across the whole thing, so yeah, it's all right. The gain on this detector, it's 40. I think it's a 45. Is not all the way up anyway. So because we're in suburbia, you know, if you can look over there, right in the middle of the screen, you can see power lines, and they run along there. So we can't run heaps and heaps of gain. So that is a 40-inch flexi drag coil, or whatever you want to do with it.
Do it as a figure.
It's going to convert it into a figure 8. And you can turn the gain all the way up then.
I don't want to change it between the things.
Oh, okay.
So just keep it.
We've got some bigger coils. We've got 40 inches, a small one. You know, there's another one there, and there's another one right in front of me there. So anyway, we'll get back on Dave. Have you put the gain full?
No, it's just as it is.
Oh, okay. Well, we're only using about half gain or something out of the detector. It's dead quiet in figure 8. Yeah, you basically halve the size of the coil as soon as you do a figure 8, but you also get rid of 99% of the noise. But you can crank the gain up if you want, or no, don't worry about it.
No, but the solution to that is just a bigger coil.
Yeah, okay.
If you want your depth back after you've made a figure 8, your option is a bigger coil.
A bigger coil, make a bigger figure 8, yeah, of course. Well, that's obvious, isn't it? Okay, this is the next one here. We've got a few experiments we've got to do here. We're doing a extended feeder cable, as in the cable that goes from the detector to the coil, to see if it has any impact. A lot of people have asked, and we've never done it, so we don't know. So how about we do it, and we'll just see. And what's the size of this one? 55-inch coil. It's doing pretty good on a little AA battery. Yeah. Yeah. The can of tomatoes. Yeah, there will be though. The other thing too is the other coils in proximity will actually be more or less, you know, ringing at the same frequency and having an impact. But oh, I've had it before. I just have coils in the room. I get all this noise, and I move the coils away, and the noise stops. So we'll try this in a figure 8.
Close to symmetrical as we can get.
Yeah. Now I'd laugh if that detector was in enhanced mode or something. It should be normal, okay. It should be in normal mode. Nice and quiet though. So you could probably use a figure 8 out in the wildest hot ground and probably with an aurora overhead, and it probably cut out all the interference. Yeah, overload of course. Yeah. Well, you've dropped the coil down in half the size doing that, so that's the reality of it. But where's the gain?
It's all in the same spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to try it with more gain or not?
We'll try this one, and then after
yeah,
that
I suppose,
you can start fiddling with numbers.
Yeah, if we alter it, then we'll lose our bearings of what we were doing.
Okay. There we go. Okay.
Okay, this is a gigantic big. How many inches is this thing? 100 inch mono coil. Yeah. Now it's going to pick up the power lines, of course. I know that. take off the shoes. Okay. Well, if it was quiet out in the goldfields, you'd pick up the small battery easy enough. But big can, a big meteorite or gold nugget. Yeah. Actually, for that coil, that's a small target. Oh, we did have a Milo tin. If you wanted to find a Osrox or a, you know, big welcome stranger or whatever, which are out there, just haven't been discovered, a coil like that would be really, really good. But yeah, you want to turn it into a drag coil. Yep, cars going down the road there.
It's close.
Yeah, it's good enough.
Good enough at the moment.
Okay, so we're going to try this big 100 inch coil as a figure 8 coil.
Also lost the battery over that way.
In your pocket? Oh, we've lost the battery. It's probably under your shoe.
Oh no, there it is,
Next to the shoe, okay.
Yeah.
It still picks it up, okay. Try and get a double beep out of it by going across the whole length of it. It's still like 250 inch coils.
Yeah, unruly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But pick that up. You can always put the gain up now if you want and just try it.
Well, now we can go to the extension cables.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
yeah.
we'll do that on the smaller one.
Yep.
And then see where the target sizes drop off and misbehave.
Okay. Yeah, because the length of these are only, what, 1.2 meters, aren't they?
The cable.
Yeah.
No, it'd be more like 1.5.
1.5 meters.
Like
okay. So
1.6.
we're going to put two cables, one connected to the other. So yeah, that's getting around about 10 feet out.
And
well, 3 meters, 10 feet, near enough, whatever.
I've got a coin as well. See if
yeah.
that registers. It's probably going to register on that one. Okay.
I don't think it'll have any effect actually. Not normal mode, having extra length.
Well, most important, we'll just mainly focus on the factory
then. Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as you go into cancel though, you in a mono configuration, you do lose a fair bit of depth. So
there we go.
So now we've got some extra cables. We're going to put them in series.
Okay. In we go.
This would be a good place for a picnic, actually. Okay, there's two cables together.
Like,
doesn't make any difference.
Not really, no. Okay. But another one.
Another cable, okay. So this is for guys who use these as drag coils behind quad bikes or whatever. You can, just going to prove a point that you can run a lot of lead from the coil back to the quaddie, so to get away from the noise and the metal mass of the quad bike, basically. Okay. So I just wanted to prove a point with this, because I've never done it. I just never got into a position where I had to go and run a huge big long cable.
Well, the math or the physics of it says that it should be detrimental, but it doesn't seem that bad.
No, it's adding a lot of capacitance, but doesn't seem to make much difference. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Maybe the smaller the coin is getting decreased a little bit. So
yeah, because it would have a faster decay.
Your smaller targets are the ones that are going to take a hit to
but
the
if you,
cable.
But if you, yeah. If you open it up as a big mono though, it probably have no effect on the big target.
Okay.
You probably pick that if you opened it up as a mono, I'd probably pick that up over your head.
Okay.
Well, you could try it if you really wanted to, but I think it would. It's only the small targets when you have a lot of cable capacitance. The capacitance wants to squash those fast signals down and try and filter them out. It actually, it's like any filter, you use capacitors to squash the noise out. And cable, the big long cable, is acting as a big capacitor, but it tends to have no effect on big targets. Small targets, yes. That's why you don't use great whopping big coils and that on small targets. They have more capacitance anyway.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
That's with the game cranked up all the way.
Why is the volume so low?
turned the volume down so that it wouldn't get blown away by.
Oh, well, maybe you can't hear it. So Dave's got the detector turned up on full gain now. It's quiet as a mouse. What's that target?
That's the AA.
Double A battery. Yeah, but flick it open, just see what it's like. You know something? What I'm thinking, okay, the longer cable is filtering out some of the noise.
It may be.
I think it might be. Fast repetitious noises. Okay, we're going to put up with that. Yeah, it's on power. Yeah, it's a frequency, or it might be the microphone too close or something, I don't know. That's alright, it's one notch. I don't know. Yeah, that's alright. That's not too bad.
We'll have to do.
I'll have to do. That's the battery. Okay. Can of tomatoes. Still gets it. Yeah, oh, middle of nowhere is much better.
Okay.
Yeah, the power lines over there look like 2200 volt. So,
All right,
you got big insulators. Yeah.
Done with this shenanigans?
Well, what else can we try?
I don't know. I think really once you get past this size coil and you get up to that size, it should really be more.
You need a bigger.
Rectangular,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, possibly so, but I think also that you know, with really big coils like that, you need really big targets.
Yeah.
Well, you have a look at the coils that what you're using to get, you know, particular size gold, and then you multiply that up. You know, it's not a linear relationship at all. It's the old inverse square law. So you're running, this is configured like a double D, but it's not a double D, it's a mono that's being crossed over, and you've got the two inner parts running right next to each other. You know, we should have some field cancellation from that, but it may work. You know, it's one of those things you'd read in a textbook. It says, oh, don't do that, you'll get field cancellation, which means you'll get a less energy into the surrounds from the coil, but it might work.
You might get more pickup. You've got more wire near the target.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. You get all these trade-offs, which are probably, there's trade-offs that are negative, but you probably get other trade-offs that are positive, and at the end of the day, it all balances out. This is funny with coils. You know, normally
you can't do this experiment. They're set hard in foam.
You can't. Yeah, you can't do. That's what Dave said. You can't do this experiment when the coil windings are set hard in foam. 100%. So very quiet. Oh, field cancellation. I think that's what you got. What are you using?
That's 5 cents.
Oh, you're using 5 cents? I thought you were using the battery.
No,
Okay, sorry. The thing is, it's going to be like using like a 14 or something, but you're covering a lot of ground all at once if you're dragging it. It's not like dragging a little 14-inch coil. It's like a lot of 14-inch coils all along. Yeah. If you did separate it though out, I think it would be more sensitive.
Yeah.
But like I say, this is an experimenter's game with these coils.
Well, how about this? I'll
Well,
try and keep the rectangles or ovals, whatever you want to call it, as similar as possible.
yeah, but you want to,
separate.
yeah, you just want to get the two cables that are right next to each other away from each other. It'll work better. This is if you wanted to put this on a big skid, a big wide skid, and look for small targets like floaters. You know, you just wanted to cover a whole gold field in a day.
That's kind of acceptable.
It'd have to be open though. You'd be out in the middle of the Tanami desert or somewhere. So this is interesting. This should be more sensitive. But people should realise, as soon as you run any cables near other cables in a coil, why is that?
Don't know.
Hmm.
The gain's up all the way.
Yeah.
Nothing on the detectors changed, just the
Hang on.
orientation.
Let's pull this open and see what happens. Just... Is it alive now? Your can's behind you too.
It seems to be coming alive.
Yeah. And you probably should have your crossover, your connection there. You should really have this more or less in the middle of the coil too. Well, I've got metal in my shoes. What's that?
That's a double A.
Double A, okay.
I'm a bit bamboozled by that. Like, did I spin myself out with the small coin? Because all the wires next to each other picked it up.
Yeah, no. What is, you've got a really close in field, right? And now you're spreading the field out, but you've still got some sort of far field cancellation. It is working. I can hear the detector. It hasn't desensitized.
Okay, but it lost its response.
Do you know what it could have been? It could have been your big can too close to it, behind you.
Maybe.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, it's all where you place it. If you put where you got the
there we go. Look at that.
Yeah. Why?
I just pulled it out further.
Yeah, it's cancelling because you can't have them too. You can't make a figure 8 coil and run the wires together. It just field cancels. So people, you got to be wary. You got to have a particular amount of spacing, or else the coil will desensitize, or it's desensing the detector.
That's good to say though. Imagine if you went to the effort of like setting the whole thing up.
Yeah. Oh, you should have a microphone on rather than leaving it near the detector, because people.
Then you can't hear the target. We need 3 microphones.
No, I can just stand with you because I got. Hang on. Yeah.
Well, imagine if you went to all the effort of mounting this onto something, tying it down, and blah 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 blah, and then you test your depth and you go,
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? You'd have to pull it all apart. So you should always do like, test targets, blah blah blah. Yeah.
Normally, when you get a coil and you bring the windings in like this, you start getting field cancellation. This is the field from the coil. This gets into that side and it causes it to cancel. So especially when you're doing it in a cancelled coil, it makes it 10 times worse. You could get this, you could open it up and have it as a big long sausage mono. It's going to ping like crazy on small gold. Targets towards the center. It'll have a field that goes way down, scoops the earth like this. it'll work. But when you start doing this fold over cancel business to get rid of noise, it does. It gets rid of the noise. You just don't want to get rid of your signals, your target signals. That's a bit embarrassing. So always keep or be wary of how much where the crossover here is with these coils. You don't want a lot of cable coming in, crossing over, and very close. You want to, you know, get it like that if you can. Bring it out, and then keep them out, because you know it'll just desensitize. And before you make a drag coil with any of these type of coils, and go and tie it down a framework, test it like this out in the paddock, just to make sure that it works and it doesn't desensitize and fail. So yeah, that's that. But anyway,
the extension cable does bugger all.
Yeah, it's picking up the eyelets in my shoes pretty well. That's the eyelets in my shoes. So, and we're also running 10 feet of cable to it. So as a big mono, they work really good, and as a crossover, as long as you've got them spread out a bit, they work pretty good as well.
Okay.
So that's that.
So that's 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter, 5 meters.
It's 5 meters, is it? Okay, that's a lot of cable to run.
But it'll do it.
Yeah. Testing some coils out. Okay. We're testing some coils. Yeah.
Yes, if you're into metal detecting at all, then it'll mean something to you, otherwise it won't. Yeah.
I just need somewhere big to spread them out so we can just test them. Yeah. Oh well, done our test. The sun's going down, so time to pack up.
Good timing.
Same for me.
Job done.
All good. Okay, now we can pack up, and yeah,
before the sun came down.
The sun's going to be down in 15 minutes or less.
Perfect. Nailed it.
Good. Yeah. Oh. So that is how these coils work. Yeah, there is trade-offs when you bend them in strange ways. There has to be. You know, the most efficient coil is a round coil. As soon as you do anything weird to it, like turn it into, you know, any sort of rectangle, not so much a square, but you know, when it's all equal sides, it's still pretty efficient. But when you start turning it into rectangles, crossing it over, stretching it out, and turn it into a sausage, you're going to lose far field depth, but you're going to still have a lot of sensitivity to very small surface targets. And yeah, I mean, you can see it yourself anyway, so not going to push that too far. But yeah, these things, you know, if you make a framework and you zip tie it, you can just pack it up like that, just fold it up and throw it in the back of the car. And I suppose with your framework, you can't really do much with that, because you can't use nails, you can't use nuts and bolts. And what you do then is just have that on a rack on your roof of your car. And if you're out in the middle of the desert doing it, well, then you got extra sun protection. So that's why I'd look at it.
What I should do is I'll get the next time we make one, I'll make another like, I don't know, maybe that size, something we can swing, and we'll just set the thing in you know, that the fiberglass tape that I've got.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just set it in that.
Yeah.
And make it so you can swing it and give people a demo.
Yeah. Well, I used to make swing coils. I used to make 55 and 60 inches back in about 1996 1996, I think it was, 1996. I used to make very light big coils, and I used to use them on the SD2000. But yeah, that size. That's what I would be if you hold that out. You know, I would be swinging that on my detector on the extension arm. That size. I would make little wooden spokes to hold it and a little wooden frame, all on kiln dried pine, and it was very light. You could pick it up with 2 fingers. It was really light, but it wasn't very strong.
You always do what Jimmy Stewart did.
Yeah, exactly. You could do that.
Make a 2 by 2 meter frame and stand in the middle of it.
Yeah, and run all PVC with handlebars on it, plastic handlebars.
That's it.
Yeah. So, yes, he was a character.
And you can buy your own caravan park.
Yes, yes. For those who don't know, Jimmy Stewart was a really good prospector, and he only used big coils most of the time. And in the early days, he found some really big lumps of gold. And when I say really big, and I mean a lot of it, and he basically bought the Lanakuri caravan park for $1 million from that gold money. He was a school teacher when he started off, and went into prospecting. And then he became tied to the caravan park. But we used to go down there all the time and drink beer with him and go out detecting. And yeah, very knowledgeable guy. He used to make all his own coils and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, the sun is definitely going down now. Where are we? It's over there. I'll spin this around. I'll do it slow, else everyone will get car sick. There you are. That's the remnant of the sun down there somewhere. It's going down. So, yeah, we better get out of here. This is pretty good. I'm looking at the back screen on this. It's pretty good for low light. Not too bad. But yeah, as you can see where we are, there's a shed there. So obviously there's a house behind the big bushy tree there in the middle. And there's a house across the road there. And yeah, we've got power lines along that road as well. So you can't get away from the noise in suburbia, even though this is a pretty, you know, it's like being out in the middle of a football oval, a football field. But there's still power everywhere and you can't get away from it. And by the way, we're right next to the Canadian lead, which I'll spin this around this way. You can see down there, that's a Canadian lead. That's my car. Yeah, but I'll just zoom in a bit, just so you know. That's a Canadian lead right there. And it goes across the road and it runs down back that way somewhere. And I think it goes to what they call Pennyweight Park, which they decided to build houses all over the top of. And it's called Pennyweight Park for a reason. And yeah, so this area here, a lot of gold come out of this area. I know there was which one was it? It was an 87 ouncer came out of this area here. And I know of a 20 ouncer that came out of this area here. But 87 ouncer would have been probably around about 1870s, around about 1870s or 1860s. I did read up. What was it called? It had a name. They called it, was it, no, Viscount, no, there might be another one. Viscount Canterbury was one of the big ones. There was another one, a one called Come To, Chinesey name or something.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not joking. Or something like that. And I just laughed when I heard about that. Come To, fantastic. I can just picture, no, I'm not going to say it. A Chinese man go, oh, pointing at the nugget going, come to, right? So anyway. Oh, dear me.
It'd be good to find something that large. You'd have to name it something embarrassing for everyone else to say.
Call it, I don't know, what would you call it? A big nugget. I'd call it something really crazy. Like, I'd call it Dan Andrews. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Name it after your least favourite politician.
Yeah. I don't have any favourite politicians,
No,
so
I don't think many people do.
I don't have any least
Yeah.
or any ones I do like too much.
Pick your favourite.
Some of them seem okay, but then they let you down. You know, hey, the best politician, who is it? Donald Trump. Yeah, most persecuted bloody guy in the world. Dear me. Yeah, we hate Trump because everyone else hates Trump. Is that how it works?
I don't know.
It's just baseless in a lot of cases, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, but
so if they've got purple hair,
yeah, well,
you probably don't want to trust them.
Yeah, well, the US political system is Looney Tunes. That's from my perspective. That's the way I look at it. I just think it's completely crazy. But we shouldn't talk about politics because too many people get, you know.
This video will be, it won't reach anyone.
This video will end up in Hunter Biden's laptop in the FBI building or something.
Yeah, that's it.
That's right. That'll anyway. It is going down the old sun, so we will be going too. Anyway, that was entertaining. Yeah.
Ciao.
Ciao. Come to. Bye.